Friends, family, and fans of golf around the world that is now under one big, giant fucking umbrella. We are brought to you today by Jay Monahan's Clown Factory, that is the PGA Tour. Now funded by the PIF. What a day to be a golf fan, content creator, the whole shebang. It's a mystery. Episode 63 of Back Nine Bets, the PGA Merger mystery, which will be a fun unfoldings of events to pursue in the foreseeable future. So before we get into the RBC Canadian Open, let's talk about who actually presents the show, and it is rotoballer.com. Use code MANIAC for 10% off. Get yourself all the premium tools that we provide you out there, the PGA Stat Buffet, all the Spencer's picks, Joe Nicety's horse for the course, core for the whole freaking shebang. I think the horse for course is actually even free. So go check out the free stuff. If you like that, jump in on the premium stuff. Get all the models that we have for you, for Showdown, for Rainmakers, all that jazz. It's all available for you as a premium member at rotoballer.com. Go check it out today. Folks, we've got ourselves a situation on our hands here. I'm not a very controversial person. I don't like conflict. I don't like change. I don't like to get into it with people. I don't like to deal with stuff. But here we sit as a content creator. And I've done this for about 2 years now. And it feels like I was adopted by a family that's just this amazing mom and dad. My life just got a million times better. And then once I started getting comfortable, the next thing I know, dad slaps mom around a few times and leaves for some chick that's hotter than him or hotter than her, got more money, lives in a better climate, works less, he can see her more, whatever, you know. Cool, whatever. Tough scenes, we deal with it, we move on. Once we start getting comfortable with the situation, just living with mom alone on the PGA Tour, what is it today? June 6th. June 6th of 2023. Dad shows back up. He's left mom. He's got more money, and he gives zero fucks about what's going on, even less than what he had when he was with us. So yeah, we sit. Now we've got dad back in the house. We've got mom that's unhappy. We've got me dressing up like a clown because that's how we pretty much feel today. I'm not entirely sure what has gone on. I'm not entirely sure how it's going to affect whatever. It's going to affect the PGA Tour product. You know, we've got the whole Saudi situation, you know, like are we kind of okay with them just being the primary investors on the PGA Tour that is an American-based tour? Are we cool with this? Are we, you know, like that was the whole live thing. It's just a weird situation. Now the fun part is we get boys like Cam Smith back. We get all those guys, which, you know, thrills me. I'm loving that idea. But at the same time, it's weird, man. I don't know how I feel about all of this investment coming in. I don't know about, you know, like we frowned upon live because of that very reason. And now, yeah, we are. And it feels like we could do nothing about it because the Saudis were the PIF. They were willing to fight a battle that they had much more bigger artillery, and they were willing to lose more bodies than we. They just had more bodies. And yeah, we sit now with blood on our hands, Jay Monahan looking like a bozo, like us all. It is what it is. So that's what's going on there. You got to feel for Rory McIlroy and gang, the guys that braved it out, that showed some actual freaking backbone, didn't take the cash, chase some legacy, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we are sitting with egg on their face. And everyone like the Taylor Gooches of the world doing victory laps from some bullshit carbo couch somewhere on a beach, drinking martinis, thinking that he was one of the smartest guys in the world, when this was just an absolute hostile takeover of the PGA Tour, essentially. So that's what's going on there. Jeff Feinberg, friends, if you're not following him, he's got 29,000 followers. I'm sure if you watch this show, you know what's going on. But man, oh man, talk about a perfect storm. If you want to go find some good content, he's out in Ontario, Toronto. I thought those were two separate places, but it turns out I think they're the same. I don't know. Still, I'm South African living in America. I don't know. But he's bringing you, he was part of a freaking interview with Jeff Ogilvy. He asked him a question that was put on the freaking Golf Channel that we were listening to live on Twitter Spaces. He is a member at this golf course that we're going to here at Oakdale Golf and Country Club, aka Jeff Feinberg's Happiness Factory. The guys out here just keep bringing us all the content from the golf course setup to what's happening, which golfers are pissed the most, which guys aren't saying anything, which guys are saying everything. It's been great. A great follow. A great time with Jeff. Then I'm in the middle of episode 3, season 3 of Succession. And this merger has absolutely ruined my viewing experience because now I dodged all the Succession stuff when it climaxed last week. And now we got people just rocking spoilers all day because apparently it's a perfect analogy of what happened. And now we know who took over the company at the end of the day. So that also sucks about this. There's just too much stuff going on. Too much stuff going on. But it is what it is. This nose is itchy as heck. We'll keep the bozo wig. We'll keep the bozo bow tie. But the nose has to go. It's itchy McGee. I don't know. I felt like I had to give a take about something. I don't necessarily know what I was going to get into. But it feels dirty. It feels gross. It feels like we're still just doing it because, like I love what I do. I'd rather do this for the Saudis and I do this like accounting for American corporations. But you know what it is. So just a weird time, change and uneasiness, unsettlement. It's weird. But anyway, here's the model. Let's dive into the model. I'm not even going to go through the settings. I'm not even going to bore you with all that crap. I don't even know. I've got 2 outrights this week. It's going to, you know what? Let's just talk about this before we get there. Now we're going to be betting. Like, I don't know how much I even want to bet this week because betting has always been like a passive you versus the books. And I feel like the books have it in the bag this week because the volatility and the blow-ups and the meltdowns we're going to see this week it's probably going to be one of the most epic weeks of meltdowns you'll see in PGA Tour golf because the majority of people playing this week are probably pissed as heck. They haven't had a chance to digest this stuff. It's Tuesday. We got a day and a half till they tee off. And the next thing you know, they're going to be playing golf under stressful and just tough conditions. And we're going to see guys withdraw. We're going to see guys. We've seen 10 people. We have seen 10 people withdraw from this tournament already. Addison, my main man, telling me I'm a handsome clown. I agree. We are doing our best to look frisky and feisty as always on the show. So that's what's cooking. I think people are going to just be out of the element this week. It's going to be a shit show. I mean, how else would this week end other than Rory winning or missing the cut epically? I mean, how? So that's the fun part about all this stuff. We got to deal with that. I don't want to bet too much in this week. I'll play DFS, play some Rainmakers. Obviously, we pretty much invested there as always. So we just kind of going to go quick and easy, talk about some DFS, talk about my 2 bets. Maybe we get convinced to bet 1 or 2 top 20s, top 40s, but nothing too crazy. Okay, nothing too crazy. Starting off at the top of the model, yeah. I don't even know. It seems like it's a disaster of a view. I feel like we could probably easily get a little bit more. Let's do this, get rid of this one, make sure we have some extra space. We're going to do this one minus this one and just make it a little bit more easy for your viewing pleasure. So that's what's going on here. We're going to move this one more time and then we're going to stop rambling. There we go. That should be a little bit more viewed in for your eyes because I know we're all old and cannot see, and that's what's going on. So Tyrrell Hatton sits atop the leaderboard here, friends. Are we talking some RBC Canadian Open here? He's been playing some great golf. If you take a look at his recent form, it's the best in the field. If you take a look at what he's been up to lately, it's been amazing. Every facet of his game is inside the top 20. He's got multiple avenues to rely on if his game starts struggling, if his approach game gets out of whack, the around the green plays right there, the putter's ready to rescue him. And if he's firing, baby, with those irons, which are inside the top 20, which aren't typically his best go-to, we're in business too. But the putter's hot. Everything's going good. He's a great bend cross putter. He makes the 6th most birdies in the field. We're expecting conditions to be easy, although the rough is thick. It's not a long golf course. These guys can hit 3 irons, 3 woods, 2 places that are very very conducive to wedge play. We're going to see a lot of wedge play. We're going to see a lot of, irons off the tee, which I think is why I have a bet on a certain somebody that's not necessarily the best driver of the golf ball. But we'll get there shortly. So Tyrrell Hatton, he's also the third best golfer on easy golf courses. So that's what you got going on there. The off the tee on courses under 7,200 yards. We've got a 7,400 yard course here. We want to change it to 72. And now we are accurately portraying what we're displaying on the screen because he sucks on those. But also at the same time, he's been struggling a little bit back in the day. This is the last 50 rounds. They don't play too many short golf courses. He typically plays these elevated events that are difficult places. And we've seen him playing some good stuff. But we don't really have too much exposure. We're probably going to bet him a little bit in the DFS world. Outside of that, you can't get to him at minus 165 for a top 20. These odds are gross again at the top of the board for guys that aren't even the very, very best in the world. But yeah, we are. So that's what's going on with Tyrrell. We could expect some fireworks. The comp course history is not the worst. We've got Sea Island. We got some Harbour Town. We got some John Deere Classic. We got Torrey Pines North. I have no idea what comp courses we can compare to this place, but threw a few in there. Thought we can just get different. Maybe we get lucky on those comparisons and see how it goes. So that's what's cooking there. Tyrrell, well-rounded, birdie machine. Let's rock and roll. He's number one in the model by quite some distance, as you can see. 0.285 versus 0.225 over Justin Rose, who's in second. Who Justin Rose is going to be our guy this week. Enters the week with the third best total strokes gain. Enters the week with the second best last 24 rounds on approach. We know what he can get up to on bent grass greens. We know Justin Rose likes himself an easy golf course. In fact, he's the second best on those golf courses. He's second best in strokes gained on easy golf courses. So we're signing ourselves up for Justin Rose. 20-1, let's go. Every rose has its thorn. He doesn't have too many. We got one or two thorns in our fingers at the Charles Schwab when he dominated that field in approach and then lost. He had one of his best approach weeks and one of his worst putting weeks in the last 2 years. And I think they may have been the best and worst in the same week, which just shows you the kind of run we are on here at back 9 bets. So we're going back to him, going to do the Rose well one more time, maybe a few more after this. But if he wins, we are on board this week. This golf course doesn't punish him for distance off the tee. He's 102nd in distance, but he's 19th in accuracy. So that's great. We can go there because we don't need length here. We just need to be in play, go and make the putts, go and hit the irons. Those, I think, are the two key areas of the game this week at a birdie fest that you will see. Justin Rose also makes the 7th most amount of birdies in the field. There's only 3 par 5s. Only 2 of them are basically reachable. So those are essentially voided from our criteria. We've only got like 5% of that in there. So Justin Rose, minus 110 for a top 20. He's done that about 55% of the time on his PGA Tour in the last 11 starts. So that kind of checks out, pretty nice edge there. Not a nice edge. It's pretty much flat. So we're not really going there either. But easy golf course scoring, accuracy off the tee, approach play that's stellar. Boom, boom, boom. Justin Rose, 20-1, win this goddamn tournament. $9,700. He's 25% owned. Everyone likes him. It makes a lot of sense. He's cheap, and he's probably going to bite us all. But I love what Justin Rose can get up to this week. Sign us the hell up. Sign us the hell up for Justin Rose. Cameron Young is somehow third in the model and 6th in total strokes gained over the last 24 rounds. It feels like this guy has been hemorrhaging strokes. It's been just a disaster factory. But yet, here we are. He's sitting fine. Now, I don't know how much his length off the tee is going to help him here. He does have the kind of length that you can drive a few par 3, par 4s that some other guys may not. But I think Rory's one of the few that can really be in that situation, like 340, get it out there, like 320 in the air if need be. But I don't know about Cameron Young. The form is just atrocious. The ownership is going to be nuts. I rather want to go with a guy called Justin Rose over Cameron Young in the spot. I know my main man, Teo Sports, is on a Cam Young heater right now. He's kind of riding him like a pony. He's in the mood for food, and it's a Cam Young Express that he's all on board. So did I say Central? Did I go 7 Central? 7 East? Dude, it's the same time. Same time every time. 7 East, 7 Eastern, 6 Central. That's always when I'm on there, Mr. Sweet Spot DFS. Thank you for being in the house once again, aka Darbo. Go check him out over there. So Addison Patrick as well, handsome guy. He's my main man at Gimme Bets on Twitter. So we've got some good Twitter friends in the house. Thanks for tuning in, friends. We've got some fun stuff going on. I'm off Cameron Young. We're going Justin Rose instead at $9,700. Here's you didn't see the Eastern. It's okay, bro. We don't read. It's okay. A lot has happened today. I'm assuming you've been reading through all the fine prints of the PGA merger anyway. So let's scoot on down the board. Cameron Young. Putting, we're going to go to now the fun part about Cameron Young. Somehow leads the field in birdie or better rates, yet somehow is on a situation where his putting over the last 24 rounds is like field average in 62nd. This season, it's 150th. It has been atrocious. He's not the best on bent grass either. It is not good. He makes too many bogeys, but he's also a birdie-making machine. Now, I don't know if this golf course suits him as much as we think. You know, like he has played well at places like Harbour Town before, but didn't play so hot the last time. So I'm out on him. Give me Justin Rose at the same ownership. We're going, you know, pivot. Let's go. Move on. Not going to validate why we're here for so long. Matt Fitzpatrick, also same situation. Take a look at these two guys. Easy scoring for the two of them. 37th and 36th in the field. So we got Justin Rose and Hatton on easy golf courses. They tear it up. When you go to Cam Young, Matty Fitz, 36th, 37th for two top-tier golfers. As you can see there, the putting for both of them on bent grass has not necessarily been the very best either. Some fun stuff going on for those two cats. Fitzpatrick also, 25th in birdie or better rates. We're going to a golf course that we could expect minus 20 scores. I'm not entirely sure we actually want to roll out a guy that can only, you know, $10,000, $9,900, 18% owned. I don't know how we feel about that. You know, the Excel's busy refreshing and not responding as we speak about it, which I think Matthew Fitzpatrick is going to be as we go through this week. So also just another guy we kind of going to get off of a little bit and go search of other players. Corey Connors is someone I do not mind. Same price as Matty Fitz. The ball striking, by God, has it been amazing. And we know that Fitz does his thing where he kind of dials it in on these courses where the greens are smaller. For some reason, he just doesn't like to hit it close. So the smaller the green is, the smaller the target he has to go, the easier it is for him to get it close. That's just a weird proportional disability that he has. I don't know what the deal is, but it is. It's a Fitz. If the green fits, it fits. So I guess that's what's going on with him. Now, Corey Connors, the approach play recently, 4th in the field, off the tee, 8th. And he's kind of, look at this, on shorter golf courses. Corey Connors is a little ropey, soft, gentle draw that caresses. Now, how is that 99th in accuracy for Corey Connors? Very interesting. That's very peculiar to me, but it is what it's kind of telling us there. But on shorter golf courses, he still tends to do some good things. Is Corey Connors really gone that backwards on accuracy-wise? That doesn't make any sense to me. Can someone validate? I don't know, dude. My model, the PGA Tour has changed it from percentages to fractions, so I don't even necessarily know if it's pulling in the right thing here. Brendan Todd's 5th, which makes a lot of sense. Why is this thing spinning on me? God damn. We got the vault open. That's why. The vault's got like 40,000 lines in it. Let's get this vault closed. Sorry, folks. Check out. We were looking up Shane Lowry. We'll get to him here shortly. The vault. Would you please close, sir? Nope, not responding. We are having a nightmarish time over here with the Excels, and the vault has been closed. So the vault, that's where I get all my data. It's from 2017. It's like 40,000 rows of stuff. So when it's open, Excel doesn't tend to respond. So as you can tell, I'm very prepared for this podcast, and here we roll, looking like bozo. But old Brendan Todd, 5th in accuracy. I don't know why all these guys, the accuracy situation. It checks out. I just can't believe that Corey Connors' accuracy is that bad. Doesn't make a lot of sense, but it does check out that he is the number one guy on these shorter driving courses. So still looking for some serious action from Corey Connors on a shorter golf course. I love what he's up to. And then Data Golf, they give you these wonderful metrics called strokes gained, weighted. You know, so we got the weighted strokes gained from 100 to 150. We've got weighted proximity, we got weighted green regulations, we got weighted good shots and weighted poor shots. So a weighted good shot is on a single approach shot, you are gaining half a stroke on the field. which means from about a wedge range, you're hitting it to like 6 feet. So Corey Conners, when you take a weighted proximity situation, this year to date, 2023, Corey Conners leads the field in hitting it basically dead stiff, like a gimme birdie, basically. He's number one in the field there, and the green regulation rate is also pretty high. So he hits them close. Corey Conners is on the board for us. We are playing him for shizzles. This is going to be a Corey Conners week. We're leaving Matty Fitz alone. We're playing Tyrrell and Justin Rose at the top of the board. We're kind of just going to be doing some fun stuff. Then we're going to scroll down the board here. Rory McIlroy, 28% owned, $11,500. The ultimate guy we must feel like I look right now. He's just, I just don't understand how you can play golf in the state of mind that he's going to be in after selling, like literally sacrificing himself, bravehearting it on the PGA Tour for the last 2 years, losing to Cam Smith at the Open, sucking it up in some majors, missing Augusta, and now you got to go at 11.5, 28% ownership and play golf after hearing all this news. I don't know what to make about it. So, off the tee, shorter golf courses, Rory's actually not too bad. On easier golf courses, he's 43rd. So far, most of the guys we've spoken, they haven't necessarily popped in the easy golf course model so far. So that's some fun, interesting tidbits to find out. We're going to get to some other dudes here shortly. But Rory, 43rd, the worst we've seen so far in the top 6th of the model. It's a Rory or Burns week for me, even after the noise. Ooh, okay, Darbo. I don't mind that. I don't mind Burns. We'll get there because I think what's happened with Burns is there's a bit of statistical regressions that's figured itself out, so we'll get there shortly. But Rory off the tee, I don't know how much of a weapon it can be on a course like this. And then we're going to get to the point where Rory, folks, the poor shot avoidance rate is pretty solid. The guy plays it safe. He's not necessarily losing half a stroke to the field on a single shot that much. There's only one person that loses less than he does, but also 18th in approach. And this is including those wedge ranges. And we saw at Muirfield, it wasn't too sexy. If he's going to be 30%, 11.5, I'm out. I am out. Just all of this nonsense going on at that ownership, it's an easy fade for me. We're going to go with Russell, Justin and Rose and Tyrrell Hatton. Jesus Christ. Russell Hatton, whatever that is. So we're going with those two dudes at the top, Corey Conners as well. So Nick Taylor. Model loves old Nick Taylor this week. And it's suggesting us we bet him a top 20 at plus 250. Nick Taylor's recent form, 16th in the field, is what it is. Everything else is pretty like stock standard, nothing worse than the approach play being 35th. So kind of a nicely rounded game heading into the week. He is sitting right around Rory when it comes to hitting shots to dead stiff. That's never the worst thing in the world when you got a guy that's $8,100, a third of the ownership, and he's getting you plus 250 for a top 20. So we said we weren't going to be betting on guys this week. I was feeling a little pessimistic entering the podcast, but maybe we throw half a unit on Nick Taylor. Let's just do it for the heck of it. He's a Canadian guy. The metrics are telling us to do so. He finished inside the top 20, about a third of his starts, so 4 times this year in the last 12 starts that have had a cut. He's had 33% finish rate inside the top 20, which isn't bad. But also, I've got some weighted percentages here for easy scoring on golf courses, and he's 6th in the field. So when it's easy, Nick Taylor likes to get breezy. So we'll sign us up a little bit, and you can kind of see the correlation between birdie rates and easy scoring for some guys. Like his birdie or better percentage is 8th. So that's not too shabby for old Nick. And, the rest of his game is kind of whatever. The bent grass putting, a little bit of a concern. I don't even know. It's like power, bent, mixture. What the hell does that mean? So whatever. I haven't included any bend metrics. They are in the model so you can see them, but I don't necessarily know what surface we're even putting on this week. So fuck it, whatever. Leave it alone. Just go for actual putting, which he's actually much better on anyway. So sign us up for some Nick Taylor, easy golf scoring 6th, plus 250 for a top 20, and at $8,100, he's the first guy that's kind of popping in the model for a value play for us. Then we get Brendan Todd, who was on our card for a top 40 last week and withdrew with a shoulder injury. So we're going to tell the model at plus 320 to go and shove it because they don't realize that he has a broken shoulder. yet he's still playing this week. So interesting how you just withdraw with a sore shoulder, and then the next thing you're playing in the field next week, all the way in a different country. So thanks, Brendan Todd, for losing us that bet. We really appreciate you. We bought you a lot in Rainmakers. So we are hurting because of you. So we're just actually going to just we're feeling a little sadistic and a little bit whatever. So we're just going to black him out. He's not necessarily on the black list, but he's on the black box, which is probably worse. I'm not sure what that means for anything, but we've blacked him out. He's no longer available. If you are tuning in at this point and don't know who that is, it's not a problem. Don't bet him. Don't even need to know about his stats, but you can tell by his absolute lack of distance off the tee who exactly this guy is anyway. So yeah, that's what's cooking over there with the guy that's on the black box. We are scooting down to the number 9th ranked guy in the model, and his name's old Matt Kuchar. And old Matt Kuchar, we just have this knack to bet on guys. We bet him for top 20 last week, the number 1 strokes gained around the green player on the PGA Tour, which is soon to be the World Golf whatever the fuck factory we've got going on. I've been dropping F words in this show like crazy. This usually happens when the Saudis get involved with my paid programming, but such is life. Matt Kuchar, one of the best around the green players in the world, lost 4 strokes around the green at Muirfield Village last week. That's what happens. It is what it is. Things go south. And now he's the second best guy in the field behind Tommy Fleetwood, who overtook him. So this is the fun stuff that happens when you bet on guys here at Back 9 Bets. But Matt Kuchar kind of grades out well. It's solid on the comp courses we mentioned earlier. And he kind of gets his things done on these easy courses. He's a good putter, and he's kind of accurate off the tee, so he won't necessarily get whacked with the distance stick this week. You can keep it in the fairways, hopefully, and keep it rolling there. The putter can potentially get him going. The birdie rate's not so bad, but the easy scoring for Matt Kuchar is not too bad so far. So we like what we see there. $9,100, 7% owned. That's some steep, compared to old Cameron Young. What do these two? They barely have a difference in strokes gained total, and we're going to catch a casual little, almost a third of the ownership between the two of them. So that's freaking fun. Let's go there. Eric Cole, model's telling us to bet him. So we might just, because they're plus 250, we're kind of feeling frisky, and we are rhyming all the timing, and I'm not sure why that's the case. But old Eric Cole's been doing some stuff. Top 20, though, he's only doing it 27% of the time in his 15 starts. That's quite a lot this year. He's been grinding it out. Played some solid golf, I think, last week after disappointing at the Charles Schwab. So a top 20 might be on the cards here. I would prefer maybe a top 40. I'm not entirely sure what we can get him there for, but I'm assuming from 250 we can get to plus 100 for a top 40, which I think is a better bet at, he's been doing it more than 50% of the time, which I prefer. Now, this field is not necessarily the strongest in the world. I like Eric Cole at $7,900. I like him on Rainmakers. I like him. The model likes him to bet him. What about his game stands out? It's not off the tee. That's fine. He's also, majorly inaccurate. Pretty bad off the tee in general without even a lot of distance, which is very disturbing. But the approach play, solid stuff. The weighted strokes gained, solid. The good shot avoidance rate, 35th. We're going to be looking for those dimes, looking for daggers, for darts, for half a stroke gain per shot. And he doesn't quite provide us that. 19th the field in birdie or better rates. He's been playing a lot, but he's also a good short game specialist. Everything ranking pretty much inside the top 20, which is kind of ideal. So maybe we can lean on some short game specialties from Eric Cole and get the train stoked up with the Eric Cole factory and burn some clean energy there. So I'm going to bet him probably a top 40 just because that's safe. I don't know if I want to roll with the top 20 at 250, but maybe we'll find a nice even money or plus 120 or something for Eric Cole for a top 40 and see how we can go there. I don't mind him at all. We're going to click his name here, make it nice and pink because pink name for Eric Cole seems fine, and so does Matt Kuchar. Seth Theegala. Let's talk about our golden boy, old Sahith. Make him nice and yellow. Sahith Theegala has made every single cut. I think he's the only guy in the field to have done so this year that has played a decent amount of golf outside of Ludwig Ardberg, who's played 2 times. So yeah, we got Sahith out here just crushing it for guys that have been on tour regularly, playing elevated events. I mean, he's technically and statistically the safest golfer in the field because he's made every goddamn of his 11 cuts. The putting has been great. We love that about Sahith Theegala. And the reason we're going for him this week, and yes, the strokes gained approach is 13th in the field, weighted. But the weighted good shot percentage for Sahith is 6th, and his birdie or better rate is 2nd. Now, his easy scoring conditions is 51st. Yikesies. That's not ideal. But there's 2 or 3 other things that we really, really like about him. The putting has been pretty solid outside of the bent grass. Jesus Christ, I hope it's not bent grass greens this week, because then we're in for a disaster of a week for Sahith, especially from 5 to 15 feet, ranking 127th there. But if we go back to just normal putting on all the surfaces that we see on the PGA Tour, 26th. That's very nice. Over the last 24 rounds on all the surfaces that we've played on, he's 4th. So that's also very nice. Off the tee, 72nd. Oof, oof, oof. We mentioned the accuracy situation, 137th in the field, not very good. But I Googled myself a Sahith Theegala hybrid this week. It's a 17-degree IG25 or ping G2 some. I Googled it, and I can't even tell you what the name is. But it's a sexy-ass driving iron, the one that he got an unlucky bounce with at the Waste Management Phoenix Open 2 years ago when it bounced in the water. We're going to be expecting him to whip that sexy son of a gun out and just throw 250-yard lasers down the fairways. That can be done at this venue. Then we get to the weighted distribution on the good shots. Sahith Theegala is one of the best wedge players in the world. If you go take a look at Data Golf's strokes gained from inside 150 yards, we can actually just, you know what? Let's take a bit of a tangent. We didn't quite know what the hell was going to go on here this week. So let's go scooting all the way through the model. Yeah, we got all sorts of weird stuff. Year to date, good shot rate from 100 to 150. Let's figure this out, change this up a little bit. Let's take a quick little peek. There's Sahith Theegala. Let me scoot all the way in here. So this is year to date. Sahith Theegala is hitting a shot from 100 to 150 and gaining half a stroke 14.8% of the time. That's not terrible at all. Joseph Bramlett's the next closest, who is withdrawn. So he withdrew from the field this week. And then you got Adam Hadwin closing in over here with Brendan Todd and Cameron Young pretty close by. So Cameron Young with the wedge in his hands, pretty dangerous too. So maybe that's why he's a pretty good birdie-making machine. But just putting this out there, you know, Sahith with the wedge in his hand, 15% of the time, he's going to pretty much give himself a very good birdie look. So, and we're going to see a lot of those this week. So that was a fun little journey way across the Excel model there. I hope you didn't get too much motion sickness, but we do this every now and then when the Saudis get involved. So Sahith Theegala, 33-1 on Barstool Sports to win this goddamn golf tournament. He's got himself 36% of the time he's finished inside the top 10. Yes, a few of those have been backdoor top 10s on a Sunday, some magic, you know, but it's go time. I think we get this driver out of his hands this week. I'm assuming that's the play. This is the narrative to get Sahith into the winner's circle. Less driver, more driving iron, more wedges, you know, less going for the green with the driver. Give yourself a nice fairway approach shot. 15% of the time, you're going to give yourself 6 feet for birdie. Let's go. Lord help us if it's a bent grass greens, because from 5 to 15 feet is terrible. But if it's elsewhere, we're fine. Maybe a bit of power, you know, I don't know. He's from Cali, so maybe that's the case. Maybe the power can sway him enough. But he's a birdie-making machine. We don't have to worry about the accuracy that much this week. We'll see what he can get up to. Now, Sam Burns, my main man, Darbo, in the chat, said he's Sam Burns or Rory McIlroy week. I don't mind Sam Burns, especially at this ownership. He's a half the ownership of Rory. He's 10.5, so he's a few thousand. He's $1,000 cheaper. And now Sam Burns finally starts to see that strokes gained approach, get it figured out. He's had 2 or 3 events since the PGA Championship that if you go and look at his PGA Championship stuff, it was a disaster. Just a giant mess of strokes gained lost to the world. I'm not entirely sure what even happened to old Burnsy, but it was a disaster. And I'm actually going to put it up because we are going on tangents over here. And this is what we're going to be doing on Back 9 Bets. So yeah, we're going to go to Data Golf, take a quick peek at the approach play. And this right here, the Arnold Palmer Invitational, may or may not have been in the last 24 rounds for the last little while. So now that this is out of the mix, he lost 9 strokes on approach at the Arnold Palmer Invitational. And that's kind of affecting his approach play. Then he also lost 4 strokes on approach and 5 strokes around the greens at the PGA Championship. So that's what's cooking. Now he's had 2 top 20s, a T6, a T16. The approach play has been getting a bit more dialed. The distance and the accuracy of the driver. You know how Sam Burns, when he rolls with the flat, the big dog, when he hunts with that big dog, it is a dangerous hunt. He can catch steam. It like builds up this momentum for old Sammy Burns, and then things can go amazing. And if you take a look at what he's up to, the good shot rate for someone that's hit a lot of bad ones this year, he's 46th. So whatever, screw that. You know, he's one of the best bent grass putters in the field. He makes a decent amount of birdies. The driver's kind of cruising. On shorter golf courses, he's 14th in the field in strokes gained. Hello. Easy golf course scoring, 12th in the field. That's all this year. I know it's a small sample size. We haven't played too many, but, you know, it is what it is. He's been playing some good stuff. Shot like Harden in the house. Oh, we got a little overlap here from the whatchamacallits, from Sweet Spot DFS's podcast. Welcome to the show, my man. Burns is going to win. Ooh, you know, maybe we need to, maybe. I don't know. What are his current odds right now? Because we've got some room in the chamber, yeah, but I'm not entirely sure we're going to roll him out as a winner, but we're definitely going to play him a lot in DFS. I don't mind him at that ownership. And, you know, he's kind of cruising right now for some serious steam. The putter, as you know, can light it up. So we've got a lot of love going on for old Burnsy, but we're going to place a hit the guy at 33-1 to win the damn thing. Anyway, Ben Martin, he's sitting in freaking 13th in the model and he's $7,300. So, yeah. So Sweet Spot selling shot like he's going to like the strategy video this week. I don't know. I've got ADD, folks. I can't let a chat comment go unnoticed. It's just how it goes. So we'll see what happens. But I do like Burns this week. We'll see what he can get up to. Old Ben Martin over here. 14-1 on Burns. You know, it's a little steep for me, but we'll see what happens. We'll play him in some DFS, maybe grab him in Rainmakers. We mentioned that yesterday's show. So that's also awesome. Let's choose what's going on with Ben Martin here. Ben Martin, top 10, not so hot. Guy's struggling right now. But you know what? He's making 3/4 of his cuts. Made 9 out of 12 cuts so far. He's $7,300. He is tidy with accuracy off the tee. His baseline strokes gained approach is third. If you wait it out, it is ninth in the field. But Ben Martin hits the second most good shots. So that's interesting. We also went and did not see him necessarily on the list there underneath Sahith from the wedge range. So potentially he's a bit better from further out, which also is going to be important this week. So we've got a bit of that going on. We love that weighted good shot percentage. So that takes 100% and it divvies it up into all the different proximities that I expect things to happen this week. And then you get that. Birdie or better rate, 12th in the field. Ooh, baby. Love some of that. Let's go there. And then 24th on easy courses. So he's got a decent amount of things going for him here. $7,300, 8% owned. As you can see, he's up here in the model. And we've got a lot of 7K guys that are kind of high ownership, which means we're on them along with everybody else. So that's what's fun about this tournament. Also, the talent gap falls off very quickly. So I'm assuming everyone's kind of clumping into the 7K range. Let's take a quick scroll down the salary range here and just see kind of if there are even any pivots. Look at this. There's so many million people that it's not even in this tournament right now. Just a giant mess. So old Ludwig out here at 5% ownership. That's not too bad. I mean, we could see a Rose Zhang type situation. Maybe not a win, but a definite contention situation. And then that 7K range, through the most of the meat of it, it's pretty much 4 or 5% ownership across the board. So you're not really getting any guys left alone in that range until you get to like $7,200 with old Cameron Champ, who, yeah, this golf course does not suit his game whatsoever. So the math checks out there. So anyway, let's get back to where we were and kind of keep scooting down the board. Yeah, we're kind of vibing. I wasn't in the mood, but I will be on the PGA Draftcast on Win Daily Show, yeah, at 9 Eastern over there. So please come and join us on that channel in about an hour and a half or hour 20 minutes. But until then, let's keep on checking out what some guys we can make some work happen for us this week. Give me 2 seconds while I parch my throat and deparch it. And let's talk about Ben Martin. We've spoken about him already, actually. Birdie's solid approach play, recent form solid. Around the green play, not going to be as essential this week. We're looking to make a bunch of birdies. Yeah, Cameron Young at 25% also is very peculiar to me. We're okay pivoting, you know, like we'll go elsewhere. Also, he's going to see a lot of wedges, potentially. I don't know. the putter's a major conundrum right now. I'm okay leaving him alone. Tommy Fleetwood finds himself 14th in the model. Everybody loves a Tommy Fleetwood except for yours truly. He's 7th in the field in recent form. Poor shot avoidance. This just speaks volumes. I love it when a guy's profile is painted by the numbers. Because Tommy Fleetwood, to me, if you take a look at easy scoring, 92nd in the field this year so far. Then you take a look at birdie or better rate. It's 33rd. Why is this the case, Tommy? Well, putting. On bent, it's very bad. So the Tommy fade on bent grass is valid. We'll see what happens there. Around the green play, he's the best in the field, best on the PGA Tour, to be honest with you. And that is a fact. But then you take a look. In his approach play, he gains a lot of strokes. He's 14th in the field in strokes gained approach. But weighted, 39th. But then you go to weighted poor shot avoidance. So Tommy Fleetwood only has 2 other guys in the field, and one of them is Corey Connors, and the other is a Lucas Glover. Well, that makes a lot of sense too. So we got Tommy Fleetwood out here barely losing strokes in massive chunks, but also barely gaining strokes in big chunks. He's a grinder. This is why he plays well at majors. This is why he plays well at Murfield Villages. This is why he plays well at all sorts of other spots. I'm not a fan of Tommy Fleetwood's production on an easy golf course. The putting is a concern. His aggression with the irons is a concern. The lack of aggression, the passive aggression is a concern to me. We'll see what he can get up to. I'm not necessarily a fan of him. At 19%, we are out. Sign off the Mark Cuban gif. Adam Hadwin hasn't had a top 10 in 12 starts. Going back to Canada, will he see his first one? We are going to be on him at $8,700. I don't know why. The model seems to love what he can do with the putter recently. It loves what he can do on easy golf courses. He's been cruising. He leads the field in strokes gained on easy golf courses so far. That's what goes on there. 36th in birdie or better rates. That doesn't really check out that much, but maybe he struggles to make birdies on the tough courses and crushes on the easy ones. On an accurate, dependent golf course, Adam Hadwin's going to be there. 16th in the field. Shorter golf courses, 26th in strokes gained. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. We'll see what he can get up to. Bent grass putting, not nearly as solid as the general putting. So hopefully we are wrong about the bent. Hopefully it's a bit more power, whatever the hell. We don't know what this grass surface is. We don't really care. It's going to be rolling. He's been putting well lately. He's easy, great on easy golf courses. Let's freaking go. Next up is Brandon Hu. And I love myself some Brandon Hu. And I love myself some plus money top 40 Brandon Hus. Even though recently it's been a bit of a struggle, this guy's been balling out. He's been playing in some big boy events, getting a taste for that kind of pudding, the pudding that you eat with the big dogs. And it's been okay. Now we get him at plus 130 for a top 40. Let's go. 36% of the time he's finishing inside the top 40. He's 14 starts so far. His recent performances have been 36th in the field, strokes gained wise. Around the greens, kind of letting him, that's his best performance, but he bowls out on easy golf courses. I wonder what his situation is on not so easy golf courses. Not so easy golf courses for Brandon Hu, it gets worse. It's like 46th and 47th, and that's not ideal. So we'll leave him alone on those ones, but we'll play him on easy because he's 14th in birdie or better rate and good shot rates. He's 10th in the field. He's going to be hitting his golf ball to gimme ranges a lot more than most other people. We need a lot of those kind of shots this week. The poor shot avoidance rate, the green regulations, the guy goes balls to the wall. 79th in green regulation rates, but the good shot rates is fine. Like if he gets hot with the irons for the week, that's what you're kind of looking for. So I am going to put it out there. And Jesus Christ, what is the number? I don't even know. Back 9 bet outright here. Let's go. Okay, so Brandon Hu, plus 125 for a Brandon Hu winner this week. Yeah. So he's the first of 4 long shots that I don't think we've mentioned. Yeah, we've mentioned Sahith. We've mentioned Old Rosie. Now we've got Brandon Hu at plus 125 to win this thing. Let's go. Let's go. Look at this. This weighted good shot stuff is awesome. The easy golf course scoring, the birdie or better rates. He's due for a Hu in Canada. Let's go. $7,500, 6% owned. Also sign us up and plus 130 for a top 40. Hopefully he can take care of us in that department. We are betting all the bets. The model's kicking out until we get to a Dylan Hu, who I'm not entirely that comfortable about In fact, we're going to just leave him alone. I don't like the recent. I don't know, man. I don't know about Dylan Hu. He's actually been more consistent than Brandon Hu. We get a better. This is the thing. This is what you get when you don't prepare. You argue with yourself on your own podcast about some random bets. But Dylan Hu has finished inside the top 40 in his 12 starts 58% of the time, and now we're getting plus 160 on FanDuel for a top 40 for him. So we'll play that. Fuck it. Let's go. The approach play's been solid. The weighted good shot stuff, not so hot, so maybe we leave him alone. But also 7K flat is the woo-hoos. Yeah, let's get ourselves a woo-hoo, yeah, shot like Arden. I do agree. But Dylan Hu, I'm also so shocked we got Hu, and then we got two of them within 2 spots of each other, basically. So a lot of birdie or better rates going on there for both of them. Love what they can get up to there. The putting, also a travesty. The good shot rate, not the goodest, not the bestest, goodest or whatever's, but the rest of his game is still pretty solid. He hits a lot of greens, so that's kind of what he gets up to there. Interesting stuff. We kind of skipped over Akshay Bashir. Hoo-hoo! Let's go, baby. Old Akshay is interesting. The recent performances, the guy making some decent cuts lately, just doing his thing 63% of the time on tour now, special temporary membership, doing his thing. But that top 10 rate, I think that was the one time he popped in there in Mexico, kind of hung tough with old John Rahm and Tony FOMO fake Finau. Guy just doesn't know what he's up to. But hey, do what you can. The guy makes a bunch of birdies, old Akshay. The putter comes and goes in a big way. We'll see what he gets up to. I don't know. At 9% ownership, we're actually out. So, yeah, went down that road for no reason. We are doing a U-turn. That's just what you kind of get. So Dylan Hu, we're going to bet him for top 40. Keith Mitchell, the approach play, look at this, 129th in the field around the greens. Hot garbage. So if you are that bad around the greens with that bad approach play, not good. But also he's one of the most elite drivers of the golf ball in the field. And I'm kind of curious, is Rory behind Rory? So Keith Mitchell, 89. I don't know about this golf course. He played nicely at Pebble. You can kind of call that a comp. I think that is one of the comps I have in there. I don't know. Keith Mitchell doesn't really do it for me, so we'll kind of leave him alone. At that kind of price range, you're not really getting much upside. 17% top 10 rate. Give me a Sahith, give me a Sam Burns, give me even freaking Tommy Fleetwood over Keith Mitchell, but I'm not playing Tommy either. Aaron Baddeley, on the other hand, has a lot. I mean, he's got the same safety and more top 40s than Keith Mitchell. So you're not getting as much upside, but you are, boy, oh boy, getting yourself some consistency and some repeatability and a top 40 rate that's been 60%. So 6 out of his 10 starts this year have been a top 40, and we're getting plus 190 on a golf course that arguably suits old the bad man pretty nicely. The accuracy and the distance is just, it's a shit show, folks. It is not good out there. But when you get around the greens, when you get to making birdies, when you get onto easy golf courses, Aaron Baddeley's 8th in the field. So the easy courses are typically a little bit shorter, I would imagine. Kind of making that up as I go. It might be a fact-checked stat there. That Killer Keith ranking it's bad. It's bad, dude. But also like the approach play is hot. It's hot garbage. The good shots are solid, but the rest of it is just doesn't go well. So at that kind of price, I don't know, man. Maybe 9%, not bad, but yuck. What are we talking about? Badly. Top 40, plus 190. Let's go. Off the tee. Hot crap. Whatever. Putting around the greens. Let's go. Boom, boom. Strokes gained. Weighted on the various proximities we're going to see this week. 12th in the field. Putting in general. Solid. Bend putting, not too bad either. 28th in birdie or better rates. So he makes birdies more than 12 other guys that are going to potentially finish out of the top 40 this week. That's kind of how you want to check that math out. So a lot of essential stats this week. Weighted good shot for Baddeley is 34th. He's $7,200. So I don't mind that. He's plus 190 for a top 40. Love that. Love this bet. Freaking love this bet. We'll see. I know he was not necessarily... I think he spoke to the PGA, all the Australians, and decided to speak to the media after this meeting today, which is kind of funny. They like to open their mouth. They like to run their mouth, those Aussies. I enjoyed the meeting, but I don't really want to be there. But hey, there we go. So Aaron Baddeley, plus 190. We're going to pay him for a top 40, around the green play, and some solid weighted to green stuff. So Let's go. I am losing the plot here. It's deep into the show. The Aussie accent is coming out hot and heavy. Apologies for that one. That was disgusting. Harry Hall, plus 165 for a top 40. Around the green is his strength. I don't know how important that's going to be this week. The approach play is just, it's bad. What is he doing? Here? It's the birdie or better rates. Oh, sweet spot. What is the plot? You got to tell me the conspiracy you're thinking. That would be awesome. So old Harry Hall, one of the best putters in the field. Yes, we know that. One of the best short game specialists in the field. Yes, we know that. Birdie or better rate also as one of the best putters. 13th in the field in birdie or better rate. So maybe that's why he's up here. What does he do on easy courses for old Harry Hall? 44th. So nothing too crazy. Kind of leave him alone at 10% in this range. We'll leave old Harry H alone. Will Gordon has not finished inside the top 20 in 14 starts. He's a fade. Yeah. I mean, where the hell is the upside here, Willie? Like, that is a glaring red box for even a top 20, like a top 10, whatever. Old Hadwin, Dylan Hu, no top 10s, but not good for old Willie. Now, there we go. Okay, let's get scooting down. I also need to make sure I know exactly who I'm talking about. Cheers, Mark, and those guys. All right, so apologies for showing you behind the scenes there, but let's scoot on down here. Let's talk about a 13% owned, $7,300 Mark Hubbard. Who, ladies and gentlemen, what did we get him at? Jesus, Byron. We got Mark Hubbard at plus 130. Mark Hubbard plus 130 for a win this week. I know. We've got two studs, 33 and 20 for Rosie and Sahith. And then we got some long darts, some absolute daggers from the depths of the ocean. And there's a reason and a method to the madness here. Old Hub Daddy, 13th in the field, the last 24 rounds. He is 13th in strokes gained total. So he's been balling out. He played nicely at Memorial. Like, that golf course does not suit him at all. His accuracy is 43rd, but over the last 24 rounds, he leads this field in strokes gained approach. And that includes Justin Rose, who led the field 2 weeks ago at the Charles Schwab with Scotty Scheffler in it on approach. And we know what Scotty's been up to on approach. So like old Hub Daddy, Homeless Hubs, oh boy, he's exciting. And plus 130 or 130 to 1 to win this thing. I don't know. I've seen stranger things. I saw the PGA Tour get merged with a Saudi-backed investment company today. So if that can happen, Mark Hubbard can win the RBC Canadian Open. Do it for America in Canada, please, Mark. So that's what we're hoping for, yeah. But on approach, it's not just recently. This year in 2023, he hits the 5th most good shots. The 5th most. So we love that from a weighted perspective. Let's go there. The birdie rates, it is what it is. It comes and goes. 31st on easy scoring, also a little questionable. But at 130 to 1, if you're going to tell me he's the best at something that is one of the most predictive metrics for success in the field, it is strokes gained approach. And he leads the field of the last 24 rounds. And this year, he's 5th in weighted good shot percentage. So there's a lot to like. An all-Canadian lineup would be very interesting if you go with a Corey Connors at $9,800. If you go with a Adam Hadwin, a Nick Taylor, where's he? 81. We go with I don't even know where else we got some Canadians. We got Adam Svensson, 85. There's a lot of really pricey guys. Who else is Canadian in this field? We got Mackenzie Hughes, who was bitching. So we need one more, and we've got $8,500 left. Let's see if we can find another guy that I don't even know. Who would the other Canadian be? Boom, 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 boom. I don't know. That remains to be seen. But anyway, we're getting sidetracked again here because this is what happens when you have the chat open. And this is where we go. Can you believe we haven't even got to Shane Lowry, who's $9,400? Oh, I've got some stuff to say about this guy. So anyway, scooting on down. Let's keep on cruising. We've got Mark Hubbard taken care of. We've got Maverick McNeely in the mix here. Apparently, according to Cameron Percy, Pendrith. Yep. Yeah, that would be a great one, actually. So Maverick McNeely, one of the smartest people, according to Cameron Percy, in the players' meeting today. So we'll see what he can get up to. Before we get there, though, we're not going to play Harry Hall for the top 40, I'm not necessarily that's not a thrill factory to me. But old Nate Lashley was playing pretty solid before we bet him for a top 40 last week after finishing in the top 40 4 times in a row. Then we jump on board and he misses it. So we're going to go back at plus 150, see what he can get up to, $7,300, 5% owned. Bang, let's go. The approach play has been solid. The off the tee stuff sucks, but that's because of distance. The accuracy is much better. He hits a lot of green regulations, decent amount of good shots, makes some birdies, lots of good stuff to like on a golf course that's a bit shorter. I keep forgetting who the hell who else we bet on. I'm going to talk about some outrights as we get down the board here and get there at some point. We've spoken about Brandon. We've spoken about Mark. We need to speak about some other guys. Adam Svensson at 85 and 7% owned seems very appealing to me. Although the easy golf course scoring is not so hot for him right now, that's okay. Like the birdie or better rates, also rough city, but we'll play him in Canada at this price, at that ownership. I don't mind. He's been playing in just elevated events as well. We need to continue to distract Byron as I'm in the middle of a sentence. Yeah, you definitely accomplished that goal. Sweet spot. I'm going to have to hoof you out of my own chat. No, I would never do that. But anyway, Adam Svensson has been playing in some big boy events. So if you take a look at those results, they're not necessarily the best, but we've got him in an event now that's not necessarily an elevated event, which he's just been pretty much playing in the whole time. So we'll see what he can get up to this week. I like his chances. I like what he does on shorter golf courses off the tee. And, the putter seems to be cooperating a bit lately. So Adam Svensson's definitely someone I'm interested in. Aaron Rai sitting at 46th in birdie or better rate is not something I'm kind of that particularly interested with, but he has burned some people, was trending in the right direction. We know about Aaron Rai ruining us our Christian Bezuidenhout's top 20 bet. So that's what's going on there. I don't really have anything to say about him. I want to get to some outrights and talk about Shane Lowry. But before we do that, Scott Piercy, folks. Scott Piercy. Year to date, in Scott Piercy's, 13 starts this year. Weighted good shot percentage, 17th in the field. Birdie or better rates, 18th in the field. Scott Piercy, ladies and gentlemen, 48th in easy scoring, strokes gained. This is a $7,100 3% owned Scott Piercy. Yum, yum, yum. Now, the upside is not there. He's one of the few guys that doesn't have a top 10 percentage that doesn't equal zero. But we do have a 46% made cut rate for a guy that's $7,100, friends. And the approach play is pretty bang, bang on. So he gets definitely much better on golf courses that are shorter. He's got the nicest number there at 69. And we like what he can do on the iron side of things. So if he can make some birdies, get it rolling there, we'll see what he can get up to. I don't mind Scott Piercy's chances. We were just shy. Plus 195 gets us over the line there for a top 40, but plus 190 not quite there yet. We do not mind the other guys we bet, though. So let's talk about Shane Lowry. Look at old Shane Lowry. In 10 starts, we've had one top 10 finish. That's not ideal. We've got a Shane Lowry who, on easy golf courses, is 119th in strokes gained in this field. I went back and looked it up in the vault. If you go and check easy golf course scoring, now my easy scoring might be a bit different to what you check up in Fantasy National, but Shane Lowry, since playing on the PGA Tour on easy golf courses, the only time he's had a top 10 or a top 20, I believe, was in 2017. Yeah, it is now 2023, friends. It has been a very long time since Shane Lowry has made a lot of birdies. A very long time. And then we get a guy who sits here in birdie or better rate on the PGA Tour of 79th. Now, that's not ideal at all. His weighted good shot rate is 4th. The guy is a ball-striking, Irish Guinness drinking son of a gun. The iron play is 3rd in the field over the last little while. But he's 93rd in putting, and his birdie or better rate is 79th in the field. He's going to be 17% owned, $9,400. I sold both my Shane Lowry Rainmaker cards for some profit, so we are making small victories on that front. I'm out on him this week. I know he's one of the best guys in the field, but I just don't think he's going to be able to keep up, even in a crap field like this. It could be my famous last words, but I don't necessarily think Lowry's going to do his thing at a venue like this. So we're out. We're out. I mean, 119th on easy And I think that's mainly got to do with his Waste Managed Phoenix Opens finish this year, which may be the only easy course that he's played so far. But if you take a look at his history, it is bad. It is very bad. Aaron Wise can't seem to hit an iron. Old Shot Length finally agrees with me that he can leave Larry out of his player pool because, yes, I agree. For all those reasons and we are out. Aaron Wise, I don't know. I'm not necessarily going to go to the guy yet. Although you never know. I mean, why did he skip? He skipped the Memorial where he played really well. Now he plays the RBC Canadian like a week later. It's just a weird situation. Maybe he's not feeling that confident in his game. I'm not necessarily in the mood to play an Aaron Wise. We'll be wise and leave him alone. Kind of scooting on down the board. We want to talk about a few guys we have in our lineups that are going to win this tournament. Look at this. Look how far we have to scroll to find this guy. But my model doesn't necessarily agree with him as much as everybody else and the DFS salary world. But Michael Kim, what did we have him at? Michael Kim is 125, and he is 125-1 to win this tournament. Michael Kim has got 18% of his starts, top 10 rates. Let's go there. Boom. That's amazing. Easy golf course scoring, 150th in the field. We just ignore that. I didn't know that and before I placed the bet. But we are taking a chance on old Kim at 125-1. We're taking a shot on his recent form. We're taking a shot on the fact that he's got 2 top 10s in his last 3 starts. That's just all. That's basically all there is. When it comes to betting, this model, it's tough because you got to have a model that's like, for DFS, you can give yourself some consistency. You can give yourself some upside. It is weird. And for betting in particular, I think this is what it's built for, is betting, you want a full, decent period of time to make a bet on. Whereas for like a top 20, for a matchup for a top 40. Whereas a outright, you got to kind of strike while the iron's hot. He's been playing some nice golf lately. We'll see what he can get up to. We know he's capable of running away with a tournament like he did at the John Deere Classic, which was a miracle. But we'll see what he can get up to. I don't mind him at all. We'll just kind of, there's no stats that support him. Like if you take a look at his stats, there's not a lot going on, but the recent form is right there. We don't mind the Michael Kim. Neither does the people at $8,000, 8% owned. They are fancying him to do some stuff this week. And then, we've got Ches Reavie at $7,100. Ches freaking Reavie, friends. 150th in birdie or better percentage. Yep. This is the guy we're betting on at 180-1. I don't know why, but with a putter like this, I mean, look, we trying to predict a putter to continue being the second best putter in the field for a guy that's $7,100. And his name's Ches Reavie, he deserves to be 180-1. What are we trying to do chasing a putter? But if you take a look at his weighted good shot rates with a putter like this, like, let's pull up Data Golf. Where's that freaking Data Golf page? Let's go find Ches Reavie quickly. And you can see where the game changes for this guy. It's like a perfect picture outside of the Memorial. But even then, check at this. So we get Ches Reavie, and this is the start of the year right over here. Century Tournament champions. What the hell was Ches Reavie doing in that event? We don't know. Probably because he won the Bermuda or something. We're getting distracted. What did he win? Yeah, he won the Barracuda. So congrats to Ches Reavie on making it to the Century Tournament of Champions. But as of the Valero Texas Open, April 2nd, Ches Reavie has been balling out with the putter, and it hasn't stopped. It hasn't stopped. A switch flipped, miscut. And then since the Valero, the only cut he's missed was the Wells Fargo Championship, which is a golf course that does not suit Ches Reavie's game. If you take a look at the accuracy off the tee, he's been solid. Distance is his biggest issue. The approach play has been pretty solid too. You're going to get a lot of crappy approach play numbers here down at the bottom, but we saw some spike stuff at the RBC Heritage. What was that? A short golf course. What's Valero Texas Open? I think TPC San Antonio also made its way into our calm course situation. So we've got a little bit of that. And in fact, I'm going to make double sure because we are just all over the place, yeah? The Pensieve, yeah, we go. All the way to the top. TPC San Antonio, show your name. I don't see it. So we probably didn't put it in. Interesting. Cool. Either way, Chez Reavie, 180 to 1. The putters switched around. The iron play is amazing right now. Shorter golf course. He's accurate as heck off the tee. He's $7,100. Let's freaking go. Look at this accuracy. Very nice stuff. So we're going to get an accurate driver at a golf course that pretty much requires that if you don't have extreme length. And I don't even know if extreme length helps, but he's accurate. He's the 11th best weighted good shot iron play in the field. He's solid from 5 to 50. And we're back. What the hell just happened? I just got kicked out of my own podcast talking about Chez Reavie. That's what you get, dressed up as like a clown, talking about Chez Reavie trying to win a goddamn golf tournament. But 180 to 1, Chez Reavie in the house. Let's go. Definitely a DFS play. We are rocking and rolling. I'm back. Don't know what happened to the stream. It is what it is. Things go on. We rock and roll. That was a roller coaster. I don't know what to do. It is what it is. Let's talk about a few other guys quickly as we scroll down the board here. Ludwig Ardberg. Got to talk about this guy. $8,300. Nice and high. They finally priced him well, not finally, but they priced him high enough that he's not going to be mega chalk, even though I do think he's going to be quite popular. Davis Thompson isn't in the field this week. Ryan Moore, I always like to play that kind of guy, this guy at this kind of a venue. Accuracy off the tee, solid, strokes gain numbers on these weighted courses like this, and we'll see what he can get up to. I don't even really know where else we're going here. I kind of mentioned everyone at the top of the model. We kind of got kicked out of our own show talking about Chez Reavie, so the StreamYard gods aren't necessarily that thrilled about everything. Michael Kim, yeah, whatever. Chez Reavie we like. Yes, we do. I don't know. I'm going to filter by the prices here quickly, and then we kind of do one more scroll, kind of see if we like anybody in particular in any specific ranges, and then we get out of here. CT Panning intrigues me. He's very interesting. He's weird. He does, and he might not be owned at all. I don't know. Maybe I don't have the right stuff in here, but CT Pan seems very interesting. I know Aaron Cockrell's his name's been mentioned. Sam Bennett, the guy's a baller. He's made both his cuts, and one of them was the Masters. The other one was the Memorial. Now he gets to a golf course that potentially he can just ball out on. So Sam Bennett's a definite go-to for sure. Kevin Chappell is a yes. Let's go there. Carl Yarn is a yes in the 6K range. We are just diving along these guys. I like it. CT Pan. Yeah, we do like CT Pan. We do. Glover. Oh my God. Did you see? He almost made the US Open. He needed to make a putt literally as wide as your computer screen, maybe 3 times the length of your cell phone, and he missed it to make the freaking US Open after a 36-hole qualifier. He went 15 or 16 under par over 36 holes and then missed a 2-foot putt.